Now that we're all working from home during this crazy pandemic, wouldn't it be nice if your webcam actually looked good? We all have so many meetings, and the only personal touch that you can give to your meeting is actually turning on your camera. But if your camera looks like shit, it's kind of silly, right? Imagine you talk to a client, or you might actually need to do a job interview because you lost your job over Corona. You might want to look a bit more professional. It's kind of like getting your foot in the door, and then once it's in, it's all about what you say, of course, but at least your base looks good. In this video, I'll give you some really simple tips you can do in like 2 minutes and without any technical knowledge that can make your webcam look dramatically better. So this down there, that's my webcam. That's not bad, right? It actually looks kind of good. Of course, I scaled it down quite a bit, so it seems a bit more sharp also. But on top of that, I gave it the right circumstances to actually picture me well. The first and foremost, most important thing you have to give your camera to make you look good is light. Light is everything. So in my case, you see a bit of fancy light behind me. You don't need that. That's just for me because I like it. The most important part is actually the light that's in front of me here. I have a big lamp that illuminates my face so the camera can really find my face and show it to you. The camera has like a super tiny lens and a super tiny sensor, and so it just needs a bunch of light to actually make you look good. The one big no-no is not sitting in with a big window behind you, for example, because if the sunlight is strong, the camera doesn't get the light for your face, it gets the light from behind, and it has a lot of trouble with exposure and focusing and all of that stuff. So make sure to close the curtains or just don't sit in front of a big window. Next one is, don't turn on the ceiling light. A ceiling light points down and it's meant to illuminate the whole room. And because it's from the top, it creates shadows on your face and it makes you look like a movie villain. And that's not really a look you want to be going for. So the best scenario is to put a big light, like I have, on my face so the camera can capture me. If you don't have that, which is fine, just sit in front of a window, so basically the sun illuminates your face. And then the camera has as much chance as possible to actually make you look good. Let's talk about settings for a little bit. Most of you likely have a laptop with a built-in face cam. I expect that out of the box there are no settings applications for those. I know they do exist and you can download them, but if you don't want to bother, don't do it, but potentially you can make your cam look slightly better if you have those settings. So on the screen here you can actually see one of those settings panels that comes in Windows. Just to keep it simple, don't touch most of them because they will screw up your webcam. But what you can do is work on brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness and white balance. All the rest, just don't touch them. So brightness clearly just makes your camera brighter. Like in my case, actually a bit less bright might be nicer. Contrast, well, you can see it fills out the darkness a lot. In my case, it's not really needed, but I just keep it at the default. And then white balance. Sometimes this one is interesting because if you have sunlight on you, or you might have a normal Philips light bulb on you, the camera captures the light differently than you see it yourself. So you might want to change this toggle to change the tone of your webcam. So now I made it more yellow, and then when I go down I make it more blue. So for me, I found a nice one. I just always keep it at this with that light condition and it's cool. So this is a little bit more advanced, but if you wanted to, you can change those settings for a better look. All right, so before we go into the fun stuff that you see on your screen right now, because there has to be a place for that as well while working from home, I want to please tell you to not use the default settings for blurring your background or doing some stuff to your face in the apps that you use for chatting. So I know that Skype and Microsoft Teams actually try to blur your background a little bit, and maybe Zoom will enhance your skin tone and stuff like that. Try turning all that stuff off. because it's actually kind of bad. It doesn't make you look good. Actually, the one from Teams that actually blurs your background blurs it a lot. It actually makes you look like a douche. Honestly, it's pretty bad. So turn that stuff off and instead experiment yourself, because there's also a place for some fun stuff. Like, look at the screen right now. I'm actually using an application for Snapchat filters. So now that you have your light in place, your camera looks good, you can be professional, you can also play a little bit. And so these kind of applications are basically in between the signal of your webcam and your chat application. So they're here in between. They can apply some stuff to the feed of your camera. So it's good fun. So basically you can turn on this app, add some filters, and then in your chat application, go to your settings and say, my webcam is actually not my Logitech or my whatever webcam I have. No, my webcam is that application that I just used. So in this case, it's the Snap camera. So if you're well lit, you can do a lot of fun stuff, right? I can actually look like a girl. And because my light is so good, it really tracks. It's like, it's me, right? Now I'm a baby. Or I can do so many things. This is just too much fun. Well, I cannot do hair color because I don't have the hair. But you can do like the googly eyes and like, so sometimes in your daily meetings, like this one is so cute. Yeah, like, sometimes you might want to have some fun. If you have so many meetings with the same people all the time, like I do, this is good stuff, right? It just opens up. And the fun thing is we have a lot of like after work drinks with a lot of people in Zoom, let's say, but all these people have their children on their lap because it's end of the day, the kids have been at home. And so when people have filters like these, we actually entertain other people's kids. And that's been a blast, to be honest, right? We have to find some fun stuff to do also while we're working hard from home. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, that was pretty easy, right? You kind of just have to put a light in the right place, namely behind your camera, illuminating your face, turn off the ceiling light, and don't sit in front of a big light source behind you. That's all. You can of course do a lot more. You can fiddle with settings and tweak stuff, but actually if you didn't do that and you had the light set up properly, that's kind of enough. So I hope this has helped you in these hard times of lockdown and people getting sick. Please stay safe, wash your hands, and stay inside.